Let's go ahead and kick off officially our Open Line Friday. Enough talking about sports for now. And we can get into sports talk again in a little while. I want to let everybody know that this is being recorded for future use and will be on YouTube. My name is Josh Benoit. I'm in marketing for EPLAN USA. This is our webcast series that we've been doing for a little while now called Open Line Friday, where we have experts that join us to chat and you can ask your questions about EPLAN. That's what this is. It's open line. So we're going to do something a little bit different that we haven't been able to do before, is that not only can you text and put in the chat what your questions might be, but we're going to allow you to raise your hand. If you ever have a question, you can raise your hand and then we'll go to you when we have a break so we can answer your questions live. And these two guys that are with me, these experts that I brought for this week, we were saying it earlier, the band is back. We have Kruno and we have Alessandro. Kruno in professional services. Alessandro just newly elevated into a new position here at EPLAN in sales. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Alessandro?
Yeah, we're here to talk about the ECE, Josh. I've now been given the honor of leading the South and Pacific region sales teams, among some other responsibilities. But yeah, great team that I'll be working with and supporting. So yeah, and I see already one of a familiar name in the chat already.
Do you
Johnny Wilson?
Oh, Johnny Wilson. I feel like there's history there between Johnny and Kruno and you, Alessandro.
It's a bittersweet history. Let's just put it that way.
And Kruno, talking about you being in professional services, tell us more about what exactly you do in the side of professional services. Because I feel like you're the catch-all. You know everything about everything. Whenever people talk about, well, how do we figure this out? Let's go to Kruno.
Yeah, I'm the jack of all trades, because as we're speaking in the preparation of this Open Line Friday, it's now the fourth time that I'm participating in this series, which is very dear to me, and every time it seems to be in a different role or with a different purpose, right? Me and Alessandro shared the first ever Open Line Friday, end of April when we did it. Then I shared with you guys once my 5 underutilized functionalities from our software. And I also joined Open Line Friday when we had our expert from headquarters, Josephine Heck, speaking about the EPLAN data portal request forms, right? And today I'm here with my dear colleague Alessandro to talk about the EPLAN Certified Engineer program, what it is, how we established it in the United States, and what value it brings to our customers. So again, super excited to be here. I hope the participants find it valuable and can take something away for themselves and get in touch with us regarding the program.
Speaking of that, we are here to talk about the EPLAN certified training or engineering that we offer here at EPLAN. I put a poll up that you can answer, asking if you've looked into it on our website, which is really good, valuable information for us. So I think more than anything, let's kind of start off. If someone has never heard about the ECE program, tell us what that means.
So ECE is short for EPLAN Engineer, and that's a program which we created a while ago on the request and on the need from our customers, right? Because as you guys probably know, EPLAN was founded in 1984 as the first CAE software in the market. And in the years, our customer base grew bigger and bigger, right? And obviously, as you have a big customer base, the customer want to prove their knowledge, right? And there, it's easy to claim that you are an expert or knowledgeable in anything in life, right? But for those purposes to really prove it, there are certifications. So for that reason, the EPLAN Certified Engineer program was created, that people can kind of prove their knowledge. It's we will go through this hour into the details for who it is valuable, and why it is valuable. But that was essentially the idea of the EPLAN Certified Engineer program, which we created.
Yeah, and Alessandro, you have a part in that too, because we just recently, we'll show this coming up, but we just recently had a graduation, and you have an active role in this certification as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a program that is valuable for for many different reasons, and throughout today we'll kind of run through those. But we have these two semesters, if you will, for the ECE certification, and it runs from January to July, and then from July to November, December. And we just had our first semester graduation a couple of weeks ago, and for those, I was happy to be my customers, and it's the feedback that I've had so far is that they have been able to get a level of understanding that they would not otherwise have gone through, through a traditional training program with any kind of technology, right? It is a focus for becoming, quote unquote, an EPLAN expert, and then also with a third-party audit of that knowledge as well, because it is not something that we certify ourselves. It is something that we work with a third-party certification program to deliver that certification and the examination content. But yeah, no, it was really good. It was hard for those four, but they did it. They passed it successfully, and I think we're starting our new semester this month, next month.
So you said 2 semesters. There's one basically one in the fall, and then another one in the spring. But whenever you talk about there being semesters, what does that break down to for each semester, about how much time is committed to this?
Yeah. So maybe I can just share very quickly my one slide regarding the program. If say a couple of words regarding, can you see my screen? So what you can see here on this screen is how the EPLAN Certified Engineer program will look like. It's divided in 3 modules, or 3 types of modules. The total duration is 17 days, and there is one common goal as your certification as an EPLAN Certified Engineer. So when we speak about semesters, the certification dates upon the completion of those 17 days, right? So that means these are 2 was this year, the last week of June, the second last week of November, and after those days, essentially a new semester starts where customers can start with the basic module. So basic module is for everybody the same. So that means these are 10 days of trainings, 4 different trainings based on the customer's availability. So we are offering every training at least 3 times, so the customer can choose whenever they are available to take those basic classes. After the basic module is completed, the customer can select one out of 3 specialist elective. I used to compare this with like going to the university and choosing the path which is the most appealing for you for your major, right? And the free specialist electives which we offer in the United States are 3D panel layout, are automation, and the third one is where we talk about standards, so standardization elective. So all of those three specialist electives are 4 days long, and after those are completed, the students are eligible. So they need to complete those 14 days of trainings in order to be eligible for the best practices and the 2 days of certification. Yeah.
You said that you go through the 14 days before the certification and best practice. So this is basically like an evaluation period that you go through in the beginning, right?
I would say it's a time frame from around 4 to 6 months, depending on when people start, based on their own time to accomplish all the levels of knowledge which they need in order to be eligible for the certification. You can imagine it like an arcade game, right, where you have to first complete certain levels in order to get them to the end level, to the end cost, right? And it's very similar. The good thing, what we did here in the United States is that the students can choose when they want to go to those trainings. So we are offering a plenty amount of training classes. Good thing is everything is virtual, so there are no travel fees included, and yeah, they can literally join from anywhere. Speaking about that, I think Alessandro, you can talk about, we had even a customer participating in the first semester who was not from the United States, right? Do you want to say a couple of words regarding that?
Yeah, it is a global program, so it's not just here in the US. It is a global program, and we have customers that that have multiple locations, multiple business units spread across, let's say, the Americas. This particular customer, they had an operation in Brazil, in Florida, in Texas, and other locations, and they were all able to take the same certification and be certified at the same time. So it also helps kind of spread that knowledge and place these experts geographically also in global locations. So it's like I said, we have customers that are smaller customers that have EPLAN certified engineers on staff, but also large companies are benefiting as well. So really, it's kind of it's more focused on becoming that EPLAN expert, if you will, within your company, and also for yourself, because we do have independent engineers that want to advance their careers, want to put it on their resume, and they are also taking the EPLAN certification as well.
Let me ask you a question about that. Before I get to that, I want to let you know that if you're an attendee and you want to raise your hand to ask a question, then you can just raise your hand. It's right on the side of your name, or you can press Control-Shift-R, and it will raise your hand, and we can get you to ask your question live. In talking about doing the training here in the U.S., that's transferable anywhere. You said it's a global program, but that certification is acknowledged globally.
Yes, so it's a very interesting topic, and thanks for mentioning it, Alessandro. So the EPLAN Certified Engineer is an international program. Wherever we are offering this program, it's the same format, right? So that means customers or engineers worldwide can get the same level of quality trained and are going through the same type of certification mechanism, right? So, and Alessandro was mentioning it earlier, the certification is done by a third party, by independent body, which is at itself certified by Fifth Nord, and the certification is then valid for 3 years, right? So that means users who have the ECE have the certification which is valid internationally, and as companies hire those users, they hire knowledge, for instance, or for instance, sometimes companies are hiring services of customers who have knowledge.
That's a good point as well that Kruno makes. It's as part of our we always like to talk about our ecosystem and industrial automation. Really, it is an ecosystem of companies doing business together and using each other's services. So, one of the things that is attractive for companies going through or deciding that they would like to place an ECE within their own company is that they also get that exposure amongst our let's say end users or system integrators that are looking for companies that are knowledgeable in EPLAN, that have implemented EPLAN systems within their workflows, and a lot of this stuff is actually able to be found in the EPLAN marketplace, or within our website. Companies can go in and see which companies in, for example, the US have EPLAN certified engineers on staff, and which are also EPLAN certified companies. And if those companies are open to lend their EPLAN services, that's where they can also find them on the marketplace as well. So it is also kind of it's a community, right? It creates this community feel.
Yeah, and I know that doing a search in LinkedIn or time to time, it'll pop up that someone gets that EPLAN certification and they'll post it on LinkedIn because it's something to be very proud of course. So tell me again, you said how long that the program has been going in the US. When did it start here in the US, and about how many EPLAN certified engineers do we have that have gone through the program since it started?
And maybe before we go in the US, we can talk about the history of the EPLAN Certified Engineer program and how it came even to the United States. So essentially, I mentioned that there was a need from customers for external certification or to prove their knowledge, and for that reason, I think it was 2008 or 2009. It was founded in Germany as a program, and then it spread over the countries in Europe. 2020, we had essentially the idea already to 2017 when I initially came over here to the United States, but we didn't put enough strategic effort to roll it out successfully back then. So 2020, we took another try, but this time it was a little bit more focused on, and we said we are taking a couple of known customer from us who will be interested to test the program in the United States in an inaugural class. Why was this important for us? We needed to prove if the program suits the United States. That means from the duration, from the way how it is executed, from the content, from the price, from the value, everything around it. So is this package ready to be adopted in the United States as it is, or do we have to tweak it so it is adopted? And we did, actually it was instead of 6 months, we did this all in just three months, but the attendees back then give us a very good feedback, and so we out of this we said we are ready to, when we started 2021, to roll it out to the public. That means from 2021 we have semesters, so that means 2021 2 semesters and 2022 the first semester is just done. So we had 3 official semesters already done, and now we are in the 4th official semester. To the numbers, and here we are pretty proud that it's growing.
And Kruno, engineers and companies still have time, right, to register to become an ECE if they
Exactly.
want
So that's one of the points why we're here today. We are promoting the current semester, which is about to start, and there is still plenty of time to join, because, as I mentioned before, you have to finish 14 days of training until end of November, and there are plenty of possibilities for that. So yeah, currently, and this is what I'm saying, I'm pretty proud of the amount of students which are already certified, and you can find the certified students on our homepage even. We will talk later a little bit about that. So currently on the homepage, there are 370 students worldwide. Out of the United States, we have 25 EPLAN certified engineers. And as I don't know who is sharing, we're sharing this.
I am sorry. That is a large file. I have to scroll. Look at that, boy.
So
Prepared well for this slide.
The four gentlemen who just recently graduated, you can see on the screen, which is currently shared. So as I said, 25. We have already 25 students out of the United States, and the total number is 370 students who agreed to be on our homepage. Not every student who became EPLAN certified engineer does have to agree with. So likely we are somewhere between 400 and 500 EPLAN certified engineers worldwide, and yeah, that's a pretty nice number, and it will certainly grow in the next years.
Kruno would ask me, how much experience do you really need to start the ECE? And I would say, well, those four gentlemen, and because I know them quite well, they are my customers. One actually recently graduated, and the company that he was working for, he was doing a kind of an internship, if you will, and he just graduated. And then you have another fantastic, gentleman there that has over probably 20 years of experience. So the range is, you can be straight from university, or a technical program, or an experienced in terms of years, individual. So there's really no level that you have to start off with.
So what about, I know, but with even coming over as an intern and being somewhere and starting off kind of fresh, but do you have to have any knowledge previously of EPLAN though? I mean, what if you're someone that you're just starting somewhere and you haven't started using EPLAN, that your company, that's something that's important to them, that you're certified. I mean, can you still go through the program and do that though?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the beginning, let's say, trainings that you do within the program are the same that you would be essentially doing without becoming an ECE. So you still have to have the foundational knowledge that we give you. So any new customer that is new to EPLAN, they go through essentially one level or the other the same foundational training. Again, what makes the ECE different and valuable is the fact that, one, it is a logically organized program, because you take certain electives that are advanced knowledge of EPLAN, and typically our customer base, not all of them gain that advanced knowledge for whatever, or they gain that throughout maybe a couple of years or a longer term. But this is more of a concentrated focus on becoming and understanding how to use EPLAN in a different way and more advanced way. On top of that, the fact that it is also independently accredited, and the examination is created by this third party institute. It kind of gives the authentication, of the knowledge that you have gain, because throughout our training, you go through the training, but you're not tested on the training. You're tested in your daily work, because by building a project after you have gone through the foundational training, that's kind of where you're tested. But it's not something that anybody other than the company themselves is able to really see. But this is a true again, testament to the knowledge that you've gained. And not everybody passes. I mean, sometimes we've had engineers that have gone through it that semester and weren't able, for one reason or another, to pass it the first go around. But they do have the opportunity also in the next semester to retake the examination. So it's not just a sales gimmick, if you will. You see a lot of those online certifications that it's I can become an ordained minister if I wanted, but does that really test my knowledge of theology or whatever it would be? So this one's a little bit more credible, if you will.
And the feedback too, because I was on the graduation. Kruno has said more than once that his favorite day of the year is whenever the graduation comes around, which I think that's kind of amazing. There's so many great things that happen during a year for that to be his favorite thing ever. But you take
those are the 2 days where I'm getting the old, or how's it called? You're getting older, right? And those are the 2 days where I'm getting significantly older, because it's a lot of excitement, right? As Alessandro mentioned, the people are coming with a purpose to their best practices and certification, right? They wanna get it. I feel often like a boogeyman at the beginning of the program. I'm saying, you are going through this program with a purpose of the certification, right? But you have to earn it, right? That there is an exam where you're proving your knowledge in theory. So by answering question, and practically by solving EPLAN errors, or completing an EPLAN project, if you want so, right? And this year, in the semester we just finished, unfortunately not everybody passed it at the first 2 tries. So as Alessandro said, they will have another shot at the November certification. But this at itself, the fact, gives this certification additional value, right? Because you really earned it. And Josh, you were there in the certification ceremony. You can see the relief on everybody. On everybody, and the value which they're receiving out of it, right?
I think that something important too is that you take the feedback from those graduates. It's, hey, you've graduated, congratulations. Tell us about the process. Tell us something that was part of your favorite thing that you did, or maybe something that you would have liked to see more of. Because that feedback is important. If we're not thinking about getting better all the time and giving the best program possible, which the program is fantastic, but it's always good to get that from someone that's been through it and fresh through it, so that they can let you know. I think that's an excellent part of it.
Yes, we're trying to constantly improve it. So that's when I shared my slide a couple of minutes ago. You saw over the format there was new. And that's the reason why what we are doing constantly changes and adoptions based on the feedback of our customers to make it even more valuable for them.
I want to share something real quick, because I think that a lot of times that we're not always able to tell how exactly to get there from the website, or we've never been before, because look, we have so many things going on here. We have a lot to offer, but the way to get to the EPLAN certified training off of the website is you just go to the homepage, and then you click right here on services, go to the training button, and it's right there. And all the information that you want to know is in here. And if you go down to the bottom, you can also get a brochure that tells you more about it as well, and some more information so someone can contact you. So whether you're an individual that wants to go through it or a company, it's all on the website. And of course, I mean, you can reach out to any of us on LinkedIn because we'd love to talk to you more about the program or anything, any questions you might have about EPLAN, of course. So I'll put it in the chat too. So you can see exactly where to go whenever you get to the website, and you can be directed there. So the certification that you take, it's 6 months that you're going through this process. The amount of time that you're certified, it's not a lifelong certification, but it has to end at some point. And I'll let you address that, Kruno, but there's a reason behind that, because the evolution of EPLAN is really so fast.
It's not only EPLAN, it's also, you know, global engineering standards change, right? You know, NFPA, IC, depending on the different, you know, ISO, you know, you've got different certification or different standards that update and change with new technology. And so that's you know, there is something that, and obviously our technology does, you know, we develop our technology, we don't just sit on it, we improve it yearly. So obviously, you know, after 3 years, I think things might have changed to where you would want to be recertified as well. So, Kruno, how long does the ECE certification last?
Since this new format, which we have of EPLAN Certified Engineers, is now 3 years. So it's the EPLAN Certified Engineer is valid for 3 years. That means if you're taking it in 2022, it's expiring 2025. Upon the expiration, our students have the chance to get recertified. Obviously, in the recertification, it's not necessary to go through a whole program from scratch. But for us, it's more important that the students prove that they learned the newer functionality. So it's a best practices day, as well as the theory exam, which needs to be retaken to make sure that they are staying with the latest functionalities. So yeah, I guess it's very valuable and a good thing to stay certified.
And if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and we'll get you to ask your question live to Kruno and Alessandro, our experts here for EPLAN Certified Engineering and the certification process.
Josh, you'll need to take your certification soon as well.
Really? You want that to happen? Look, I don't know if I qualify. I don't know if I qualify for that. I have a hard enough time getting WebEx to work whenever we're doing these. So do we want to add something new to my plate here?
Yeah, WebEx certification maybe.
Yeah, maybe WebEx certification. Whenever the employee is certified for and has their certification, does that mean that the company is also certified?
Not directly. So we are having also a program for the company to get certified to become an EPLAN certified company. So we created a program for that, but the engineer is certified in the name of the company, right? It means if you would click on the home page, which you just showed before, towards the bottom, you will see the certified companies. And once you click,
bring it up.
You see the names. Maybe I can pull it up very quickly. So,
so whilst you're pulling that up, we did get a question, and I apologize. I don't want to butcher your name. Kruno, maybe you can help me out with in the chat.
Just a second. I'm pulling this up, and we can then.
But the question is essentially, do you need EPLAN experience for the certification? Absolutely not. If you've never worked with EPLAN, you are given the same foundational knowledge as somebody that is is brand new that is not taking the certification. So that's you'll start at the same starting line. Where the EPLAN Certified Engineering takes you further is the electives and the advanced courses that you take a part of the program, and including the certification and best practice examinations. So I hope that answers your question.
The first training is a basic training. So or if you have been already a customer, then the renewal can be a renewal training, and this ensures that every participant is getting the same treatment and same knowledge. But with that, we are going to a very important point, right? For who is the EPLAN Certified Engineering Program, and why, or what type of customer is it? Is it really interesting, right? And Alessandro already mentioned that the size of the company really doesn't matter, right? And if we will take a look at the 25 students, which almost the same amount of companies, probably are done around 18 to 20 companies which are certified, then the portfolio of those companies is totally opposite likely, right? So there is not say, okay, EPLAN Certified Engineer is for a specific type of company, but for everybody who wants to prove or improve their knowledge, right? And with that, we are coming to is it for new customers or is it for experienced customers? Alessandro, what is your take on why is it valuable for new customers?
I mean, for new customers, you're essentially starting already with the mindset of commitment, that you want to implement EPLAN. You want to have a master or an advanced user of EPLAN, a key user. We use different terminology, but also when we're implementing, we love to support our customers, but sometimes for many reasons, the customer is not able to have us to support them. We're not able to support them in the way that they need, and this is a good way for them to install a trainer. Essentially, we're think about train the trainer approach, and for new customers, by giving that knowledge, those advanced knowledge, they're able to find and accelerate that time to value, right? And in the end, if you become an expert in using the tool, then you're going to be you're always going to be successful. Like everything, right? I mean, it's EPLAN is a powerful tool, and you need the training, and you need to go through the to gain the knowledge. And this is just a way to accelerate and improve that long-term success that you will have, and also gain those efficiencies. For existing customers, and again, we had a mix in the recent graduation of new customers, new to EPLAN, new to the tool, and some that have been using EPLAN for a long time, and they're like, I think I've been working with EPLAN, and we really want to take it to the next level. And then they decided to go through their program. Some of the knowledge they've already have. Again, it's like everything. You forget some small pieces all the time, right? And you're like, sometimes I wish I could refresh my memory on that. And they all take, they all, one of them had already taken the basic training, but they took it again, and they're like, now I remember things that. Or I learned something that I forgot. I relearned something that I had forgotten. So it's this program is for new customers, existing customers, whether you're brand new to the tool or you've been using the tool for 20 years, whatever it may be.
I feel like it's like saying, what's a dojo without a sensei, right?
Right. What's a dojo? So the dojo is our training room, and is Kruno the sensei?
Ooh, I was thinking more on a company, like one of the companies, if that's the dojo, and then the sensei is the ECE.
There is a question from Mohammed. Should I need to work with a company to register for the program? You would, your local local EPLAN company. That's who you would register and apply to take the ECE program. It is a commercial program, so there is a cost to it. But yeah, you would just work with your local EPLAN.
I think what he's asking is that if does he need to work somewhere before he applies to do it?
No, the question goes to that if you have to be working through a company to be able to go to ECE, and that's not the case.
Okay.
That means we have customers who for their own interest they are registering for the EPLAN Certified Engineer program without being affiliated. I don't know, affiliated is probably the wrong word, but without working for a company. Or sometimes companies, Alessandro, we had the case the company didn't understood the value of the EPLAN Certified Engineer and say, okay, I would like to pay you the regular trainings, but not the EPLAN Certified Engineer program. And then the employee decided to purchase for himself the EPLAN Certified Engineer program without being affiliated to the employer. And this is also possible. And I know also back in the days when I used to work in Austria, one of my friends decided to, and he wasn't even working with EPLAN at the time at his company, but he decided to get certified in EPLAN just to get this certification for future chances, right? So it is a very good certification possibility for everyone.
Are you the sensei, Kruno? Are you the sensei inside the EPLAN dojo? Do you feel like it?
Maybe inside of the EPLAN dojo, but not for the customers, right? And you made a good point. Like every customer needs their own sensei, their own dojo, right?
Right.
So Mike had a question, not sure which program to do. Rital also has an EPLAN certification program in Canada. I'm also aware of a Canadian program. Well, it really depends on where you are. Like I said, with the EPLAN certified engineering program, it is global. So if you're in Canada, you can connect to our Canadian team up there. And I believe the Rital is referring to the EPLAN certification program, but I can double check with you, Mike.
Our Canadian colleagues have their own program which they created for their market, if I'm not mistaken. The thing is,
I think it was the EPLAN certified system integrator.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different. That's more of a
more
of a
specific
company-based certification to, as a company, you are a EPLAN certified system integrator. And we can also send some follow-up there, but I'm going to put my email in the chat. So if you want to reach out back to me, Mike, and we can see and put you in the right direction if we weren't able to answer your question today.
Maybe interesting thing to understand, as we said, ECE is an international program, internationally available, but it's not available in every, or it's not, you cannot participate in every country, right? So that means you can only take the certification in countries which are offering the ECE program. Maybe I can just share one screen so you see where, based on recently, are we offering the EPLAN Certified Engineer program? See my screen. So these are the countries where you can contact your EPLAN colleagues, right, and register for the program. So you see here, Germany, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Czech Republic, Austria, Belgium, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. If you are probably in this time zones here, and if you are somewhere in Canada, United States, Mexico, or Brazil, or South America, and you would like to take the EPLAN Certified Engineer program fitting to your time zone, then it will be here for the United States. So that's probably interesting to know, because as we read through the registrations, we assuming that we have also some colleagues watching from Europe. So that means if you are somewhere in Europe and you want to take a certification in English, then likely the colleagues in the United Kingdom could help you, right? Or if you have any other language, then any of those colleagues. Okay.
I'm impressed that you knew every one of those flags, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously impressed with you.
What
I
was
think
it?
the other thing to point out too is that whenever Mike talks about Rital having an EPLAN certification program, that Rital being also some company we work very closely with, that certification still is being delivered by us. So anytime you see an EPLAN certification program or the ECE, that's still being delivered by us at EPLAN. It's not an independent program or certification process that they're doing on their own. It's something that's directed and carried out from us and Kruno, I guess.
At least in the United States so far, yeah.
Do you have any other slides? I like your slide deck. I'm so impressed that you had all that going.
So I usually prefer during our open line Fridays not to show slides. And I agreed with Alessandro, I will show one slide, but I went even further and showed 2 slides today. So be happy with that, what you got. And
That's almost like overtime, like you're expecting some kind of bonus because you use 2 slides.
I'm so generous. I'm giving you 2 slides today. So
Thank you. We appreciate that. If you have any other questions, leave them in the chat. I also want to cover what Johnny asked about, that it's not necessarily about the program, but I want to talk about the marketplace because Johnny asked, how can you be a part of the marketplace? All you have to do is whenever you go to the website again, right here at the bottom, you just click there and you can go through. The thing is that I think a lot of people don't understand, and this is the feedback I've given to corporate, is that whenever you get here, whenever you scroll to the bottom of this page, you can become an EPLAN provider on the marketplace, and you just click there and the application process will start at that point. So being in the marketplace is something very cool because it gives you access to those companies that are also part of our system, our ecosystem, as we call it. We talk a lot about ecosystem here at EPLAN because really it is we all play off of each other whenever it comes to companies that use EPLAN and are able to use knowledge and shared resources that way. And that's why we talk a lot about collaboration between companies, because that ecosystem is built around that collaboration, really. So the marketplace is a good way to find other companies that you know are going to be friendly and nice and have that experience with EPLAN that you can count on. So
that's a bit of a flex.
Wait, so if you have someone,
but Johnny, how long did it take you to gain that knowledge, right? You know, that's the thing. We can do it in a structured way, or you can do it in a. There we go.
I don't know why Johnny is not raising his hand so I can bring him up live.
Johnny, you must have started using EPLAN when you were 12. If it was 15 years, you're a young lad. That's why.
Is he like Sean Mulheron? Has been around EPLAN for I don't know, since graduation. I was talking to Sean Mulheron the other day, and he said, well, it was one of our open line Fridays, as a matter of fact. I said, how long have you been with EPLAN? He said, well, since I stepped out of college, I've been with EPLAN, and that was it.
By the way, for those that don't know Sean Mulheron, he is our product manager, one of our product managers. Yeah, so he's been with EPLAN for quite a long time.
Sean's a great guy. We have a lot of webcasts coming up with Sean. In fact, we have to. It's like having Kruno on Open Line Friday. We have to know when we need to limit his appearances, because Kruno's already been on here 4 times. Kruno, I don't know if you're going to get another shot. I don't see that happening.
You know what? Certain Line Friday, I will not be part of it because I'll be on vacation. But afterwards, we will see.
We have Sean Mulheron coming up, not this next month, but the following, I believe, that he No, I take that back. It is next month that he's going to be doing Open Line Friday with us. And so we'll have Sean on. We have Derek and I believe Ian that are coming up with webcasts too. So we'll give you all that information, and LinkedIn is a good place to kind of follow to find out what events we have coming up. There's also another place on the website. If you go down to the menu structure and you hit company, and then you go to events and hit webcast, then you can see everything that we have coming up. And right now, this is the only one that we had on the books for now, but I'll be putting quite a few things that we have coming up into the event, because we're going to be very active with some things on the way for you. We've been talking about it recently. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to give it away.
But what you should say is that we are doing this Open Line Friday since April, right? And we had already quite a few Open Fridays, right? And all of the recordings you guys can find on YouTube.
Yes.
We have the EPLAN USA channel, and if I'm not mistaken, we have even a playlist with the Open Line Fridays. So it's if you want to, we should create probably a best of sooner or later.
Kruno's going to be editing the best of. I have a feeling, but no, I did want to.
Don't do this. If I have to edit it, it will, how the content will look like.
I wanted to turn it back again as we're wrapping up here. If you have any questions about anything, about really anything, we'll try to answer the off-topic questions, but anything, obviously reach out to us, connect with us with LinkedIn if you're not already connected with us. We have a lot of really, really great things coming, and you can find a lot of that information on the websites, but also just reach out to your friendly neighborhood EPLAN representative, and we'll be happy to connect with you regarding anything. Any more questions regarding the ECE program from the audience?
While we're waiting to see if anything comes up, let me also add this, is that we right now are in a growth phase with EPLAN, that we have some really fantastic openings to work with our company right now. And although we're not saying that you should apply and get away from the company you're with, but if you know someone that would be a great fit for that, we always like to hear about that too. I don't know, Alessandro, if you want to put that in the chat for the openings we have. EPLAN is such a fantastic company to work with. And I say that because I work here, and it's been also, like, I'm the new guy on board here. You guys have been here forever. But if you know someone that might be a good fit to work with us, and please send them over our way, because we're in a phase where we're growing, and we have a lot of stuff that's going to be happening in the next 6 months that I'm excited about. Part of that was what we've done with Alessandro and Bart. Those roles have expanded, and so the team is fantastic, and I couldn't work for a better company. I hope they look at this at HQ. I hope everybody that, like, our big bosses, watch this one, especially this part. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. We're going to be sending this out, the recording of it. So if there's any part of it that you missed or you want to share with others, that we're going to be emailing this out. It's also going to be available on YouTube. Kruno, Alessandro, thanks so much for joining me to talk about this topic, and have a great, fantastic weekend.
Thanks again, everyone. Please look into the ECE program if you're interested, and look forward to answering any other questions you may have. Ciao.